There's so much you learn from school, but there are some things that school will never teach you. In this video, I'll be teaching you 12 things that you will never learn from school.
Inspira Central. Inspira Central. Inspira Central. Inspira Central.
Hello fellow Inspirers, welcome to Inspira Central. My name is Monica and I'm the Chief Inspirer herself. It's always good to have you here. Thank you for joining me. Today I'll be teaching you 12 things that school won't teach you. There's so much you learn from school. There's a wide curriculum for you to pick from and learn from. But today I'll be telling you 12 things that school will never teach you. 12 things that only the real world and real experiences will teach you. The first thing that school will never teach you is that you need more than a certificate. In our educational system, the certificate is highly emphasized, very re-echoed, very re-emphasized. But it's not the only thing that you need. You need the certificate, yes. You need the knowledge, yes. But there are also some other things that you need. For instance, you need skills. Skills are proof of what you know and what you can do, not necessarily what you have a certificate in. A certificate is good. Do not ever doubt that. It's very good. But you also need skills. Skills are those things that show that you have practical knowledge of what you say you know. So in addition to getting a certificate, you also need to get skills. You need to learn certain things that will help you in the outside world. In the school system, we are told, learn this, cram that, memorize that, write an exam. All that is good. But when you get to the outside world, they will ask you to show what you can do. That is where your skills come in. So get a good combination of your certificate and then your skills. Marry them together, merge them together, and that is an unbeatable combination that you need to be successful in the outside world. The second lesson that school will not teach you is that failure is not the end of your life. This is one that I'm particularly emphasizing because while I was in the university, I had so many friends who at one point or the other dropped out. Some were advised to withdraw because they didn't have the grades, they didn't have the points, they didn't have the CGPA to move on to the next level. Some were asked to start afresh. Some of them had to start afresh. But then again, there are some people that took it so hard. There are some people who put themselves in harm's way because they failed a course or because they were asked to withdraw from the university. Dear undergraduates, today I want to say this to you. Failure is not the end of your life. Failure is just a stepping stone. Failure is a mirror that shows you that you've not quite learned certain things and there are still some things you need to learn. Don't take failure so hard. Failure is not the worst thing that can happen to you. You can always bounce back from failure. You can always get back on your feet. You can always dust yourself up and get back again. Speaking of bouncing back after a failure, I have a video that I've made on how to bounce back no matter how old you are and what your experiences are. I will put the link of that video in the description of this video so that you go and watch it and learn how to bounce back. Don't ever give in to your failures. If you fail the first time, try again. If you fail the second time, try again. Keep trying until you succeed. And you also need to reassess the situation. Find out what exactly the problem is. Why do you keep failing? Is it that you're bad at this course? Is it that you don't have what it takes? Is it that you don't like this course as a whole? Find out exactly what the problem is, because if you know what the problem is, then you know how to fix it. If, for instance, you don't understand a topic, you can go and get some tutorials. You can get somebody to teach you. Then if it's a situation where this is not the course you're made for, you don't have what it takes, you're not even interested in it, then you probably need to change your course. You need to move to another department. Find a way to do that. You have lecturers, you have course advisors, you have people in the educational system that can redirect you. You also have guidance counselors. Go and speak to these people. Let them help you pinpoint what the problem is and find ways to fix that problem so that you can move on, so that you can do other things, you can grow, you can explore, and you can overcome that failure. But in the meantime, while you are still struggling, in the meantime, while you're still failing and repeating that course, do not give up on yourself. No matter what happens, don't ever give up on yourself. One thing you need to realize is that in the heat of the moment, it looks like this is the worst thing that can happen to you. It looks like your whole life is over. But sitting here, over 1 decade after my university days, I'm telling you that that is just a blip in your life's history. That is just a little part of your life's history. It's not your whole life. I promise you, it's not your whole life. So don't take it to heart when you fail. Don't write yourself off. Don't call yourself a failure. Don't internalize failure. Don't personalize failure and attribute it to who you are or your identity. Don't ever identify with failure. It's just an aspect. It's just an incident. It's something you need to fix. You resolve it and you move on. A better person. Not you tying yourself to the failure. The failure is just one isolated thing. You need to grow from it, you need to learn from it, and you need to move on. Don't ever attach that to your name. Don't ever identify with failure. Don't ever attribute it to who you are and what you can do. Do you hear me? I am really, really passionate about this failure topic because I know I saw what it did to many of my friends in our university days. And so I'm saying to you today, this is not the end of your life. This is not the whole of your life. You still have so much life to live. You still have many more years. And I'm telling you that in the next 20 years, you will look at that failure and say, it wasn't that big a deal. Why did I make it such a big deal? It really wasn't that big a deal. It's really not that big a deal. So please hold on. Don't give up on yourself. Find people who can help you and never, never, ever give up on yourself or think that you should put yourself in harm's way because you have failed. This is just a season and this season will come and pass. The third lesson that school will not teach you is that even the most successful people failed in the past. Look around you for people who have achieved success and let them tell you their stories. Look for older people around you. Read biographies, read stories about people, and you will find out that at one point or the other, they failed and they almost gave up on themselves, but they got back up. And when you read stories like that, you will see that you're not the only one who has experienced failure. Every human being on the earth, at some point or the other, in one situation or the other, has gone through a time of failure. Failure is not a new thing. Failure is as old as the human race. When you fail at something, you learn from it and you improve. Every technological advancement that we're experiencing, that we're enjoying, that we have today was a failure at some point. But someone kept tweaking it. They kept doing something new. They kept readjusting. And that is how they have what they have today. So keep readjusting just like people before you have done. And know that failure is not a new thing. And you're not the first person. Neither will you be the last person to ever experience failure. The fourth lesson that school will not teach you is that nothing good will come to you on a platter of gold. This means that you have to be a go-getter. You have to go out there and pursue what you want and get it for yourself. Things don't just come to you while you're sitting there folding your arms. You need to learn this. This was something I learned the hard way. And I've talked about it in a video that I made here about why intelligent people fail. I'll put the link of that video in the description of this video so you can go and find out why intelligent people fail. You have to know what you want and then go after it. If you don't go after certain things, you will never get them. So that is one lesson that school will not teach you. Be a go-getter, otherwise you will never get that thing that you so want. The fifth lesson that school will not teach you is that passing exams is not an indication that you will succeed in the future. I guess you're stunned because what school tells us, what people in the educational system tell us, what our parents tell us is pass your exams and then you will succeed. It doesn't necessarily translate that way in the real life. You could be very good at your academics, but you may not succeed when you come out to the outside world. And that is because it takes more than book smart to achieve success. It takes more than reading, memorizing, cramming, writing exams to achieve success. You need to have some practical skills. There are some qualities that you need to attain in order for you to become a success. Getting the knowledge, getting the education, getting the certification is just a stepping stone. If you don't have those qualities, you will not realize your potentials. For instance, besides the skill, besides the education, you are going to need tenacity. Things will get difficult, and if you stay there bemoaning your fate or thinking that somebody has to fix you, somebody has to help you all the time, you will never achieve success. You also need determination. That is making up your mind to say, I want this thing and I will go after it no matter what it takes. I will not stop until I get what I want. I will chase it, I will pursue it, and I will achieve it. You need that. You also need to have a network. People help you every day. If they are not there in your life, you may not know of certain opportunities. There are some people who will hold the door open for you to come in. There are some people who will be your connections. There are some people who will tell you of opportunities. There are some people who will pave the way for you. And so you need a network. It means you need to socialize. It means you need to go where you have similar minds, like-thinking people, so that you can achieve success faster. If not, you will just be a solo person on a solo race, all by yourself with nobody helping you. You have to have a growth mindset. If you sit down there and you just think that everything is horrible, you have a negative outlook on life, you will never achieve anything. No matter how good your grades are, if you have a negative mindset, if you're not a go-getter, you will never achieve anything. Speaking about a negative mindset, I have done a video on how a negative mindset can keep you down and stop you from accomplishing your goals. I'll put the link of that video in the description of this video so you can go and watch it and start breaking out of that negative mindset, because it will not just keep you down there, it will make you waste so much time that all your mates will go faster than you because they have a positive mindset. It doesn't matter what their grades may be. So there are many other things that you need to achieve besides writing and passing exams. Passing exams, like I said, is not an indication that you will succeed. If you just go to school, write your exams, pass your exams, and come out with your certificate, then you sit at home, you will never achieve that success that you're sitting there and dreaming about. The sixth lesson that school will never teach you is that you never stop learning. Many people go to the university and say, let me just read, let me give it my best, so that as soon as I graduate, I will stop learning, I will stop reading. Well, even though that may be the fantasy, it is not the reality. In this life, if you're going to succeed, you have to keep learning. If you want to grow, you have to keep learning. Everything is changing so fast. For instance, 5 years ago, we were not talking about AI this, artificial intelligence that. But in our world today, we're talking about AI. AI is doing so much. So you have to keep learning, you have to keep adapting, you have to keep growing if you must be at the top. If you don't keep learning, if you think that learning is only for the classroom and the school environment, you're going to be left behind. You're going to have outdated knowledge and you're going to be relegated to the back. If you want to be abreast of what is going on, you have to keep learning, you have to keep growing, and yes, you have to keep reading. You may not like to hear it, but it's the fact. This is the reality. You have to keep learning if you want to keep being the very best. The seventh lesson that school will not teach you is that your university days will probably be the least distracted days of your life. When you're in the university, you have enough time to focus, especially if you're not training yourself in the university. If you're not paying your fees, or you're not a part-time student, if your parents or your guardians are paying your fees, or you're on a scholarship, then you have more time to concentrate on your books. But when you step into the outside world, you will fight for your time. You will not have enough time to sit down and read a book. There will be so many distractions, there will be so many responsibilities, there will be so much that you have to do with your time. So that means you should make the most of your time now. Give your education all your time. Stay out of the distractions. Stay away from the parties. They're not necessary. There will be lots of time for that. Zero in and concentrate on your academics now that you have this time to yourself. because as soon as you step out into the outside world, you will have little or no time for yourself or for learning anything. So make the most of your time now that you have few responsibilities and fewer distractions. The eighth thing that school will not teach you is that you have to make time for your personal development. This relates to what I just finished saying, that your university days will be the least distracted days. As soon as you step out into the outside world, you will have little or no time for personal development. But like I have said earlier, personal development is important if you must stay at the top and you must stay abreast. If you want to keep growing, you must find time for personal development. And so you should find a way to pen that into your schedule, pen that on your calendar. And when that alarm pops up, when it says read a book or learn this or take that course or go for that self-paced lesson, whatever it tells you, adhere to it. Because if you don't make time for personal development, you will find out that you have gone for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years without reading a book, without learning anything new or taking a course. And that is not the very best for you. You have to keep your mind alert. You have to make sure that you stay abreast of your industry, that you learn, and that you never are left relegated. So always find time for your personal development. No matter how busy you are, you can carve out 30 minutes every day to read something or learn something new. The ninth lesson that school will not teach you is that you may never practice what you are certified in. This is one that will shock you, given how much you're reading and how you are struggling to make sure that your grades are A-OK. But I'm sorry to break it to you. The reality is not the fantasy. The school world is different from the outside world. The outside world is the reality. Sometimes you're certified in something, but you start practicing in something that is related to it or even totally unrelated from what you have learned. What your certification does is it's a stepping stone. It shows you've been to the university. It shows you've been to the higher institution. It doesn't necessarily tell you what you're going to be practicing. For instance, somebody could study law and end up being a journalist. The person didn't study mass communication. Then somebody could study mass communication and end up being a public relations officer. It all depends on what is out there. It depends on what you find yourself doing. Sometimes people could switch and learn entirely new things when they are older. People could switch to a completely different industry when they are older. It all depends on the reality that they meet out there. I want you to know one thing. I'm not saying this so that you lose interest in what you're studying. Neither am I saying it so that you start to treat your books with levity. I am just telling you the reality out there. In the meantime, while you're studying this course, give it your very best. Get the best grades that are out there. There's a first class, there's a second class upper. Ensure that you graduate in record time. Ensure that you get the best grade. When you go to the outside world, you will still need that certificate. But the issue is you may not necessarily practice in that field. So learn, study, but the reality is what you find out there, the job you get out there, or the industry that you tilt towards may be different to some extent from what you have studied. The 10th lesson that school will not teach you is that you may never like your course if you never liked it to begin with. If you study a course because maybe the university gave you that as a second option since you couldn't get your first choice, if you decide to go with that, you may never like it. There are some people who put in for law and then they were given something like history or they were given something like literary studies and they ended up taking that course. They graduated with that certificate, but they never liked that course. They don't enjoy it. It was a tedious task for them to do the exams, pass, and get their certificate. If you don't like a course from the beginning, you may never like it. It is what it is. What you don't like, you don't like. What you're not fashioned for, you're not fashioned for. What you're not built to do, you're not built to do. But some people get to like the course. And that's when they are still in the university. That's when they start learning it and they're like, this is even interesting. I like it. I don't mind this course. But if you've gone through the 4 walls of the university and you never liked that course, you may never like it when you get outside the university. That's one of those things. That's why you find some people switching courses. Some people are ready to go back after getting that first BSc. They are ready to go back for another course and read what they love. But maybe because of peer pressure, Maybe because they felt, I have to be in school, I have to be in university, everybody's in university, my mates are in university. Or maybe because their parents said, it doesn't matter, just take it. They took the course and they studied it, but they did not enjoy it for 1 second. And so they go and switch their courses. They go and learn something that they are more in tune with, something that they like, now that they already have the first BSc. So try your very best to do a course that you like. Try your very best to do a course that you have the capacity for and you're willing to learn. And even if you're giving something that is a second option, something that you did not quite choose, try your best to like it, so that when you like it, you can start growing from there, start loving it, and you can build on that. The 11th lesson that school will not teach you is that exam malpractice deprives you of learning something useful. I've done a video here on exam malpractice. I really went in depth about the consequences of exam malpractice, both for the parents, the teachers, and the students, as well as the larger society. The link to that video will be in the description of this video. Exam malpractice may seem like the easy way out. It may seem like that is the solution to your problems. But exam malpractice creates even bigger problems than what you're experiencing. What you're experiencing now is your lack of preparedness. You didn't read, you didn't study, you didn't go to class, and that is why you cannot answer the questions that are in front of you. That is why you are scared to take that exam, and that is why you have gone to write answers and put things in your shoes and do some funny things. Had you read or studied, this would not be the situation. So you have a large role to play in exam malpractice. Now what you are doing is that you're shortchanging yourself. By the time you succeed in writing that exam, with all those things you brought into the exam hall, you will pass that course. Because if you're not caught, you will pass the course. You gave the right answers after all, even though they didn't come from your head, they didn't come from your smarts. But the issue is that you will never learn that thing. When you have passed that level, when you have succeeded in writing the exam and you've passed as a result of your exam malpractice, you move to the next level. You will never learn that thing that you were supposed to. You miss the opportunity to learn. You cheat yourself, you deprive yourself, you waste your time and your money coming to that university and not learning anything. I'm not going to say so much about exam malpractice because I talked extensively about exam malpractice in the video that is in the description of this video. The 12th lesson that school will not teach you is that your lecturers do not determine the trajectory of your life. I don't know if anybody has been bold enough to say this. You know, back in my university days, if anybody had told you that your lecturers do not determine the trajectory of your life, you would have said it was a lie. Some lecturers act as if because they are the ones who grade the students, they get to decide if the students will be successful or not. Some of them behave as if they hold the destinies of their students in their hands, or they hold their future in their hands. If that is the kind of lecturer you have, if you don't have lecturers who are supportive, or who encourage you, or who tell you that the world is bigger than the four walls of the university, I'm here to tell you that your lecturers do not determine the trajectory of your life. I said it. I said it, and I'm standing on business. While your lecturer may determine the grade you will get in that course, while your lecturer may determine if your CGPA comes down from a first class to a second class upper, or from a second class upper to a second class lower, or from a second class lower to a third class, or to a pass, I'm telling you that your lecturer does not determine what happens to you after you leave the university setting. It doesn't matter how scary, or how frightening, or how intimidating your lecturer may be. Your lecturer does not own your life. Your lecturer does not have your success or failure in his or her hands. What the lecturer has now is just minute impact on how things turn out for you in the university. They have impact on how you score in the university. And I also need you to remember what I said earlier, that this is a phase. The university time is a phase. It's not the whole of your life. It's just a minute part of your life. And that means that the impact that the lecturer has is minute. when it comes to the whole picture of your life, when it comes to the grand design of your life, your lecturer has little impact and is just for a short period of time. So stop being scared of people. Stop being scared of your lecturer. Be respectful. By all means, be respectful. Do what you're supposed to do. Go for your classes, take your test, write your exams, sit down and read. Stop going around from one lecturer to the other and asking for favors or trying to give bribes or doing things that are shoddy. When you do that, you're exposing yourself. You're making yourself vulnerable. If you do the right thing, most lecturers will not come for you. If you do the right thing, most lecturers will not ask you for favors that are beneath you. If you do the right thing, you will go through that school and the university will go through you without any stress. So do the right thing. Because it's only when you don't do the right thing, you start hopping from one lecturer's office to the other, asking for favors. Sir, I need this grade. Sir, I want my C to become a B, or it will affect my CGPA. Ladies and gentlemen, don't do that to yourselves. Do it the honorable way. Go and read your books. Go and learn. Go and utilize this opportunity. Go and make the most of your university days. Go and do something worthy of emulation. Stop jumping from one lecturer's office to the other. You would only expose yourself to those who are looking for who to prey on. Your lecturers do not determine the trajectory of your life. You, to a large extent, determine if you're going to be successful within the university and outside the university. I hope that these 12 lessons that I have brought to you today would help you know that this is the best time of your life and you should start making the most of today, because not everyone can get a university education. Not everyone can afford a university education. And so you who are privileged enough to be in the university should make sure that you make the most of your time as a student. If you're a young person, you're an undergraduate, or you're a youth who has even just graduated from the university, if you'd like to have a one-on-one discussion with me, you can send me an email at inspiracentral@gmail.com. Send me an email and let's talk in private. If you want personal tips on your academics, on self-development, on how to deal with people in the workplace, how to relate better with family and friends, and how to become an overall better person, you can send me an email. Once again, my email is inspiracentral@gmail.com. If you've enjoyed watching this video and you'd like to see more videos on academic tips, mental health, self-development, and self-improvement, please subscribe to this channel. Simply click the subscribe button and get subscribed to this channel today. It is completely free of charge. You don't have to pay anything to subscribe to this channel. So click that subscribe button. Also, do not forget to click the notification button so you'll be notified as soon as I update. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it. Also, please share this video with every student that you know. These tips are lifelong tips that will help you even long after you have graduated from the university. Share this video with everyone because it's going to help them know what is out there for them when they graduate from the university. Speaking of graduating from the university, I have a video on life after school. I'll put the link of that video in the description of this video so you go and watch it and learn to prepare for life after school. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. I enjoyed bringing it to you and I hope it has made your day. Please keep watching my videos here on Inspira Central. I have a playlist in the description of this video. Please go check out the videos in that playlist, watch them, drop your comments, and keep growing and becoming a better person. Don't forget to be an inspiration. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Please subscribe, click the notification button, like this channel, share our videos, and follow us on social media. Thank you very much.
Inspira Central. Inspira Central.